Students, welcome to another session of your parasitology class. In today's class, we are going to discuss about various types of animal associations. Planet Earth is home to millions of species of very diverse living organisms that include plants, animals, fungus, algae, and unicellular organisms. Likewise, there are millions of complex relationships taking place between and among these different species of organisms. These animals, when live in close proximity, develop a variety of patterns of associations. There are mainly five types of such associations: parasitism, commensalism, mutualism, symbiosis, and phoresis. Of these associations, commensalism is a loose association that is made on the basis of shelter, defense, of food obtaining mechanisms, whereas parasitism, mutualism, and symbiosis are intimate associations in which the metabolism of one individual of one species is dependent to some degree on permanent association with an individual of the other species. Parasitism. Parasitism is an intimate association between two specifically distinct organisms in which one partner, usually smaller one, lives on or within the other, usually the larger one, in order to obtain sustenance. The one which is benefit is known as the parasite, while the other, which is injured or is the loser to a smaller or larger extent, but certainly does not gain anything by this association, is known as the host. So, parasitism is a way of living in which an organism, the parasite, uses another organism of different species, that is the host, both as a habitat and as a food. There are many examples of parasitism like protozoans and helminths living in the cells and in the gut and different organs of the vertebrates. The most important and correct example being the COVID virus. Commensalism. The literal meaning of commensalism is eating at the same table. It is a loose association in which two animals or organisms of different species live together without either being metabolically dependent on the other. Although one organism may receive some benefit, that is known as the commensal, but the other, neither it's benefited nor harmed from the other. Commensalism is not an obligatory relationship for the existence of the both. The examples being pilot fish and shark. The pilot fish accompanies the shark in a free swimming manner, eating the fragments of the food that become available as the shark tears apart its prey. Another example is between remora fish and shark. The remora actually attaches itself to the shark by dorsal fin and feeds on the leftover and does not harm the shark. Mutualism. Mutualism is derived from the Latin word mutuus, meaning exchange. It is an intimate association or relationship of two animals or individuals in which both the partners are benefited. However, this relationship is not permanent and obligatory. Either of the partner can break it without any loss to either of them. Examples of mutualism are hermit crab and sea anemones. Hermit crab and sea anemone is very good example of Muslim, where the sea anemone lives on the bark of the crab. The anemone is benefited by being moved to new hunting grounds and obtaining morsels of the food torn off by the crab, while the crab is protected by the bulk and stinging tentacles of the anemone. Another example of mutualism is between herbivorous ruminal flora that live in the gut of the ruminants and help in the digestion of the cellulose in ruminants, and also in return they get the protection and food. Another example of mutualism is uh, that between scorpion and hydrides. Symbiosis. Symbiosis. The word symbiosis is a Greek in origin and means to live together. It is an intimate or close association or relationship of two individuals in which both the partners are benefited, like mutualism, but in this, that means the symbiosis, the participating species are dependent on each other for existence and are obligatory. Examples being that between termites and their intestinal protozoa, the termites provide the habitat and the food in form of wood, that is cellulose, which they cannot digest. The protozoa in the intestinal habitat, however, are capable of hydrolyzing the wood for their own and for the termite use. Another example of symbiosis is that between Zoochlorella and Hydra. Zoochlorella lives in the cells of the Hydra, hence gets the protection. Secondly, the carbon dioxide produced by Hydra is taken and utilized in food making and the release of oxygen which is utilized by the Hydra. In this way, both are benefited. Another type of animal association is phoresis. This is a very temporary type of association and the term means traveling together. It is very temporary association between two individuals or organisms in which where there is no metabolic dependence. Examples of the bacteria and amoeba on the legs of the flies or the fungal spores on the legs of the certain beetles that are transmitted when the beetles move and the flies moves. Besides these important types of animal association, there is yet one other example of association, that is predation. It is usually a short-term relationship or association between two individuals in which one, that is the predator, benefits at the expense of the other, that is the prey. So, predator is an individual which temporarily attacks and destroys animals to obtain food. It usually feeds on the smaller, weaker organisms which are its prey. So, predators live on capital while the parasite live on the income. Example of the predator and prey being the cat and the rats. Prey are the smaller, the weaker organisms or animals. These are usually eaten by the predators. Now, coming to parasitism, there are two aspects of parasitism, parasitosis and parasitiasis. So, parasitosis is an association between two individuals in which the infective agent injures the host and causes symptoms and lesions of the disease. While in parasitiasis, this is the association in between two individuals in which one is potentially pathogenic but does not cause symptoms of the disease. In this type of parasitism, though the parasite is capable of making the harm, but the host is capable of the repair to overcome the effects of parasites. So this the in parasitiasis, the host is capable of repair the chain, while in parasitosis, the host is not capable to repair the chain. In parasitiasis, the symptoms are not noticeable, while the symptoms are noticed in parasitosis. In We can say that parasitiasis is a state of balance between the parasite and the host, while when the parasitic infection is much stronger, then the host is not able to repair it, and so it is a state of imbalance. The parasitosis is the state of imbalance. Now, there is one more important aspect of parasitism, because this is the parasitology class, that is infection and infestation. So, difference between infection and infestation is that when the parasite it lives in the body of the host, inside the body of the host, then this type of relationship known as infection. While when the parasite lives on the external parts of its host, body parts, then it is known as infestation. Then there is another word, superinfection. It is when an individual harboring a parasite is reinfected with the same species of parasite. And animals infected with Fasciola species, they are automatically again reinfected with the same species, then it is the superinfection. Yet another word is autoinfection. In autoinfection, when an infected person is its own direct source of reinfection, that is autoinfection. It may be external or internal mode of infection of this type of parasite, like Enterobis vermicularis living in man. Thank you.